Hello, welcome to another video. Having shown you hopefully the Lockwood spools, I thought I'd show you Lockwood tapers. And I've got a couple of these, so I thought I'd start with this one. Just talk a bit about taper locks as we go. So to start with, you'll get the kind of very definite clicks and you'll think that everything is being set nicely. You think, oh goody, everything's nice and easy. And then you'll discover that actually you get to a point where I think I'm at now, where you can't really feel anything solidly binding. Occasionally you get a little bit of resistance off something. And if you're really careful and sensitive, you might feel that when you hit that resistance you sometimes get a little tiny bit more core rotation. And so all I'm doing here, there we go, is working my way through and just giving each pin a little bit of a nudge. So let's pop this open and let's just have a bit of a look at what's inside. You can see I've got one with a key here. This one doesn't have a key, which is why I thought it might actually be more interesting to look at. So the key pins are all the same in these. So let's show you that. So just ordinary key pins, a little bit of a taper on the top, but nothing too bad. That just helps, sometimes that helps you to overset when you don't want to. And then let's show you these drivers. So these are the drivers. They're not as tapered as say the fabs are, but they behave the same. And so it takes you a little while to get past this little bit here, this kind of rounded edge. I don't know how much closer I can bring that, but that's your pin, and it's that taper there that causes all the problems. So you need to kind of nudge, if you like, that past the shear line. You get a tiny bit of rotation, then a bit more, and then a bit more, and so on. Okay. So I won't cut the whole thing, it's those all the way through, it's those tapers all the way through, and I'd better remember just to pop my key. Oh no, that's annoying. My core's rolled and dumped the key pins out everywhere. How irksome. Interestingly, or possibly not, this particular Lockwood has got, this is a slightly newer one, and it has the option of 6 pins, and the slightly older one doesn't. So this is quite a bit trickier, this one. Sometimes it doesn't seem to play ball at all, but let's just blast through it, see if we can get a quick open. And you can hear those kind of plunks again. At least I hope you can. Now I've just overset that, so slack off a bit of tension, let it pop back up. Might have to have some hold music in here. That's definitely overset, definitely too deep. Okay, and now we're into that bit where I'm on the tapers, so I'm just nudging and nudging, and each time I give it a nudge I get a little bit more turn. And we just keep working our way through, and suddenly it'll go pop. So can't remember where these things sit in the belt rankings, but I definitely think everybody should have one. They're really good, fun things to play with, and quite satisfying, I think, to pick. He says expecting it to open any second. Ah, rats, I've just overset a pin. That's me being overconfident. I'm not using too high a tension, but I really should be. Okay, I'm looking at the time and I'm thinking this is getting a bit long now. So what I might do is stick a key in it. Although that feels a little bit like accepting defeat, doesn't it? There's probably a limited tolerance for sitting there watching somebody go back and forth across pins. Although maybe it's reassuring to someone out there to see somebody else wrestling with these things and having a bad day. In fact, it's a funny sport like that. You know, by its very nature, we're only ever recording our successes and never the, you know, you don't really see the failures so much, do you? And so I think it can be, particularly if you're starting, it can be really a little bit of a lonely hobby. In, you know, you think, oh God, look at all these people doing all these, picking all these amazing things. And what you're not seeing, there we go. What you're not seeing are the hundreds of hours of fidgeting and fiddling and picking like that. And oops, oh, that was a bad move, wasn't it? Let's just gut this one. So you can see this thing is, well, it's a good job that wasn't for a belt. That's properly escaped that key pin. I'll have to dive around and fish it out in a second. So let's zoom back in again. There you go, there's a really rounded edge on the key pin, and let's have a look at the driver. So you can see these drivers are very much the same, look, long rounded taper on them. So there you go, that is Lockwoods, or at least that's your tapered Lockwood pin. Thanks for joining me as always, and take care.